Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing things that will surprise you, and it shouldn't surprise many. But if you're a thinker and a researcher, then you know exactly what is going on. Africa suffered under slavery, under colonialism, and today it's a different kind of colonialism taking place. And what is so sad about this whole issue, we have black people in Africa, like the Hausa Fulani, who still believe that they need to conquer territories. They need to roam the streets with cattle in this day and age, for goodness sake. They are so ignorant to the core. They don't have a clue what's going on in the wider world. What am I talking about? Remember, they took us as slaves, used us for cheap and free labor. Slavery ended. Then colonialism. They divided the African continent amongst themselves. But guess what? That's why when you fight these days, you have to fight strategically, with intelligence. Unfortunately, a lot of our African brothers and sisters in the United Kingdom don't understand what was going on during Brexit. Some were going with petty things. Oh, if we leave the EU, there will be racism. They will stop our people from coming. They will rubbish. Those are petty, foolish things. What people don't understand about the EU was that the EU, and I'm going to show you a video that will confirm what I'm saying right now. I'm going to show the video very soon. The EU was set up for them all to come together. And the strategy was, listen, don't let us go and fight wars over Africa because we control one territory or the other. Let's come together as one and deal with Africa as one. And listen, one of the parliamentarians I respect in the UK, Jacob Rees-Mogg, I thank God for the life of that man. He said it and he exposed it. And yet some ignorant Africans voted for us to remain in the EU. Because they didn't understand, they are ignorant to what's going on. And I explained to you why. The strategy was, let's deal with Africa as one. And the strategy was to keep Africa poor, so that you don't rise out of your poverty. And they can start using that one to exploit you. For instance, they tell you, if you bring your cocoa seeds raw, your gold raw, your diamond raw, your palm kernel, your whatsoever, your pineapples, everything raw. No customs duty. But if you process it to bring it, they hit you with a high duty, so that your product will become totally too expensive on the market, and it will be to your disadvantage. So if you're exporting everything you have raw, I visited plantations in Africa. And you see the guys chopping, chopping pineapples, arranging them in boxes onto articulators, straight to the airport, straight to Europe. And yet the guys in Europe are adding value. I know of a company in a country in Africa, I don't want to mention their names, because I know the people personally. It's owned by a British company. They came into Africa, they set up huge farm where they don't have enough pineapples. They buy from other farms. And guess what? They add value in Africa. They process it, slice it up into containers, they seal it, they put it in a British Airways flight, it arrives in London the following morning, and it's on the shelves. You sold one pineapple for about 50p to these guys. And they get maybe about 3 packs out of that whole pineapple. And on the shelf here in Europe is £2.50 for each pack. So they're selling the pack for about £7.50. One pineapple for about £7.50 when you sold it to them for 50p. You can see what's going on. So that is why the EU said, let's deal with Africa as one. Let them keep bringing the raw materials. So we're sending raw materials out ourselves. And they are processing it. They're having it, they're making money. And even sometimes they send it back to us at higher prices. And we think we're getting a good deal. So when we were praying, I'm praying for the EU to fall apart. And that's why with the Brexit, I voted and I campaigned aggressively for us to come out. But some ignorant Africans, they were thinking, oh, immigration, oh, there will be racism. Rubbish. Rubbish. You see, when you are small-minded, you won't be able to see the bigger picture. That's the problem we have today with so many Africans. So they become a stumbling block to what God is about to do. But you know what? God will still do his own thing. Like they say in Yoruba language, they say the foolishness of man does not stop the movement of God, does not stop God doing what he wants to do. So that's what it is. So now, that, you know, the UK is out of the EU. And I believe it's just a matter of time. The EU is going to fall apart because the UK is one major contributor financially to the EU. So with that chunk of money out, there's going to be a huge hole. That gap, well, that hole will be hard to fill. But guess what's happening again? That's why some of us were against the globalists, the New World Order. Those guys too, they are evil to the core. Yes, they are evil to the core. If you are not a good researcher, a good thinker, you won't know what's going on. And I'll explain to you now in a way you'll understand. In the past, European companies come to Africa, take the raw materials, exploit us, take them away, add value, make money. These huge globalists who are the investors across the whole world, they are not interested in whether you're making money, you are successful in life or not. They just want to make money off your backs. So, and they have done terrible things, like Shell Petroleum. They come to Nigeria, they destroy vast areas because they didn't put structures in place that will make sure that the environment was well looked after. And it's now so that the Africans are smart. Now they're coming to Europe to take them to court with their own law. And they're losing cases. And they're paying out huge compensations. And they thought, no, we can't carry on paying these compensations. We cannot deal with these Africans. They become too smart now. They're coming to Europe, they're coming to America, taking us to our own court, and the lawyers, the judges, they are deciding in their favor. Guess what? They now decided the best way is, let's go and build our factories in China. And let the Chinese come into Africa, exploit them. The Chinese don't have any legal structure in place for you to go to China and go and sue any company that messes you up in Africa. You can't sue them. They are communists. They don't have structures in place. They don't care who you are. In fact, they see you as animals. Guess what? They now allow the Chinese to go and collect those resources and bring them back to China to produce Apple computers, your iPhone, your whatsoever, all the batteries and whatsoever, cheaply in China. And then these rich guys ship them to the Western world. They make billions. And you're still there, talking about open cattle grazing. Don't you see that these Fulanis are mad? They're crazy. In this day and age, you're being exploited. Your life is being messed up already by the Chinese, who have been, allowed, because the globalists know that you can't come and sue them. And the only way Africa can deal with them is like if the whole of Africa say, listen, we're not buying your computers anymore, or your phones anymore. We don't buy any made in China anything anymore. We produce in our own countries. Things will change. Because if the raw materials are in Africa, and then you're talking about global warming, because every time you ship things from Africa to China, and from China to America to Europe, you are creating, you are damaging the environment. So the most sensible thing to do, if you really love the environment, build factories in Africa where the resources are, and then start distributing from there. That way, you cut down your carbon footprint. You make it very, very low. But they don't care. They're just operating with smoke screen. And they've turned China to the factory of the whole world. That's why they hated Trump. Because Trump told them, if you bring cheap things from China to America, we'll slap huge duties on them, they won't sell. Guess what? They started shutting down those factories and bringing the money to America. And that's what they are doing. The globalists or the New World Order, that is what it is. That's why they don't attack China. They leave China to get on with it. This COVID problem came from China. But you know what? They pretend like it's not from China. And China too knows that they've been bought. African leaders have been bought. So China is busy lying. And at the end of the day, we as Africans have to wake up. That's why I believe that Nigeria should break up. In fact, the situation there has gone beyond restructuring. We have shouted restructuring for years. No one was listening. Now the train has left that station. and it's now going to be breaking up. Let's break up peacefully. At the same time, let's remain within the ECOWAS and deal with one another like we deal with other countries in the ECOWAS. What's wrong with that? So we're still the same ECOWAS. So that's what we're talking about. And even though ECOWAS has its own drawback, but at the moment, let's just get out of Nigeria. Let people develop at the pace they want. Let them have control over their resources. Not sending cheap money to people who don't want to work, people who are just sycophants. They haven't got a clue how to run their own country. You promise your people Sharia, and then they introduce Sharia. You are caning people for drinking. You are locking people up for wearing trousers, and then you want investors to bring money to bring investment there. They won't come, and if they don't come, there will be no jobs. And if there's no jobs, you are relying on the petroleum from the south to keep yourself going. That's why they're scared of the south living. And you know what? Now God is on the battlefield. God is taking the south away. It's a case of Israel leaving the land of Egypt, and there's nothing Pharaoh Muhammadu Buhari can do about it, because Pharaoh perished in the Red Sea. And the Bible said, he said the Egyptians you see today, he said you shall see them no more forever and ever. That's the word of the Lord. You know what? Let me hear your comments right below, and let's keep discussing. But in the meantime, if you haven't clicked on the subscription button, click on it now, and also on the notification bell, because there's a lot more heavy stuff coming to you soon.